I left my phone on Mia's kitchen counter. Stupid, I know. But we were ordering takeout, and I was halfway to the car when I realized the apartment door was still unlocked. I pushed it open. Mia, her voice stopped me cold. Oh my God. Stop. What if he comes back? A pause. Then another voice familiar to familiar. He won't. He trusts you too much. Chris, I moved quietly, heart pounding like it knew before I did. The hallway led straight into the living room, and there they were, couch, half-empty wine glasses, Mia straddling him, their mouths tangled like they'd been starving. They didn't even see me. My chest tightened. My tongue stuck to the roof of my mouth. I stood there, frozen. Mia, I finally said. She jolted like I'd slapped her. Chris jumped back, shirt halfway unbuttoned. She gasped, scrambling to her feet. Wait, it's not what it looks like. I cut her off. That's your line? Chris stepped forward, hands raised. Man, listen. We were drunk, you're sober right now. He had no comeback. I looked at her, mascara smudged, shirt wrinkled, not even trying to hide the guilt. I trusted you, I said quietly. Both of you. Mia's lips trembled. It was a mistake. I didn't mean to. You didn't mean for me to find out, I corrected. Chris stayed silent. Coward. 3 years, I whispered. You told me I was your forever. I panicked, okay? You're always so perfect. And Chris, he was there. And I was angry, and you cheated, I said. That's the sentence. That's the truth. Don't dress it up. She looked at me, finally breaking. Please don't leave. We can talk, but I was already turning. No? You already talked. I grabbed my phone off the counter and walked out the door, down the stairs, out into the cold. My lungs felt too small. My hands shook. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just kept walking. I deleted every photo of her, every message, every voicemail. I blocked her number, blocked his too, but that didn't stop her from emailing me or leaving voicemails from unknown numbers. I didn't listen. I didn't read. I just let it pile up. Like trash at my doorstep, I stopped answering calls, stopped going out unless I had to. Work, gym, home, repeat. My apartment was cold. My heart was colder. Then one Sunday afternoon, I walked into the grocery store and reached for a jar of pasta sauce. A hand beat me to it. Sorry, she said. I froze. Lena, Mia's sister. She blinked. I stepped back. Hey. She tilted her head. Didn't expect to see you. You look like I haven't slept in a week. Her smile faded. More like a month. I forced a laugh. It didn't come out right. Yeah, something like that. She hesitated. Mia told me. I nodded. Of course she did. She made it sound like you just left for no reason. I looked at her. That tracks. Lena sighed. She lies a lot, you know. Always has. I raised an eyebrow. You're not exactly her biggest fan, are you? Never said I was. She gave me a sad smile. You want to get coffee or something? You look like you could use caffeine. Or company. Or both. I opened my mouth to say no, closed it, then nodded. Yeah, okay. We sat in a quiet corner of the cafe. She sipped her iced mocha. I stirred a black coffee I didn't want. You don't have to talk about it, she said. I wasn't planning to. She nodded. Cool. We can talk about other stuff. Like why they still play elevator music in public places. I cracked a smile. A real one, small but there. She grinned. There he is. I was starting to think you turned into a statue. I kind of did. She leaned forward. Can I ask something? Sure. Did you love her? I paused. I did. I think I still do. Or maybe I just loved who I thought she was. Lena nodded. That makes sense. She said it was a mistake. A one-time thing. Lying again. I looked at her. You sound so sure. She used to lie about everything growing up. My clothes, my friends, even stuff I said. I stopped trusting her when I was 12. Why didn't you warn me? I asked, half joking. She smirked. Would you have listened? No, there you go. We sat in silence for a few beats. I stared at my coffee, then at her. You always seemed quiet, I said. Whenever I came over, had to be. Mia took up all the air in the room. I nodded. Yeah, she did. You weren't like the others though. What others? The guys she used to bring home before you. They never lasted, thanks. I muttered. I mean it as a compliment. You actually stayed. You believed in her. Yeah, that was my first mistake. No, that was her loss. I met her eyes. They were steady, warm, real. I didn't say anything else. Neither did she, but in that moment, something shifted. A tiny flicker, a pulse, not love. Not yet, but I wasn't invisible anymore. Hey, you alive? That was Lena's first text the next morning. I stared at it longer than I should have, fingers hovering above the keyboard before I typed. Barely. You? Coffee's keeping me vertical. You free later? Yeah, good. I'm picking the spot this time. Don't argue. Ever been here before? She asked as we sat on mismatched chairs under string lights. No. Looks like Pinterest exploded on this patio. She smirked. You say that like it's a bad thing. I shrugged. Just surprised. Thought you'd drag me to some dark corner of a bookstore. I almost did. But you looked like you needed light. I glanced up. The bulbs above us glowed soft and warm, like someone tried to make the night less lonely. She stirred her iced coffee, then asked, So, you still ghosting Mia? She doesn't get to talk to me. Not anymore. Good. I looked at her. She told you everything? Her version. I don't buy it. What did she say? That you abandoned her. That she made one mistake and you went cold. I scoffed. One mistake? She didn't mention Chris. Of course she didn't. Lena sipped her drink, then leaned in. You don't owe her your silence. You owe yourself a chance to breathe again. My throat tightened. She said it like it was obvious. Like it was allowed. You make it sound simple. It's not. But it's necessary. We fell into silence. People passed by. Someone dropped a glass inside. The world kept moving. I hadn't. You ever feel guilty for feeling better? I asked. She tilted her head. You feel better? A little. When I talk to you, her lips twitched. Then no, that's not guilt. That's progress. I still don't know what this is, I admitted. Us. Talking. Meeting up. We're friends, are we? Do you want to be more? I looked at her too long. She didn't flinch. I don't know, I said. Then we're just two people who like talking. No pressure. I let out a breath I hadn't realized I was holding. You're really good at this. At what? Being okay. She laughed, soft and bitter. I'm not okay. I'm just used to being second. I blinked. What? Mia always got the attention, the love, the boys. I was the quiet one in the corner. Until now. Lena, she raised her hand. Don't feel sorry for me. I like who I am. I just hate how many people didn't bother looking. I didn't speak. She took a long sip, then looked up at me. You saw her. I wonder if you ever really saw me. I didn't, I admitted. Not until now. Her expression softened. I forced a smile. I used to laugh with Mia, but it never felt like this. Like what? Like it mattered. She held my gaze for a moment, then looked down at her empty cup. You're not using me, right? The question hit hard. I don't want to, I said, but sometimes I don't even know what I feel. That's honest, she whispered. I don't want to hurt you, then don't lie to me. I nodded. Deal. We stood up, cups in hand. I'll walk you to your car, I said. Are you gonna try to kiss me? I smiled. Do you want me to? She looked straight at me. Maybe. My chest did something weird, tight, warm, electric. But I didn't kiss her. Not yet. Instead, I opened her door and said, Thanks for the light. She smiled. The kind that hurt, because it meant something. Don't disappear on me again, I won't. At least, I hoped I wouldn't. Why are you looking at me like that? Lena asked. We were sitting in her tiny apartment. There was paint on her hands, a smudge of blue near her collarbone. She looked like peace. I'm not looking at you any type of way. You've been staring for 5 minutes straight. I wasn't counting. She raised an eyebrow. Well, I was. Makes me feel like there's something on my face. There is. Blue paint. Where? I reached out and brushed it off with my thumb. Just below her throat. She froze. So did I. Her voice came quieter. Are you gonna kiss me or just keep touching my neck like a weirdo? I hesitated, just for a second. Then I leaned in. When her lips met mine, everything else vanished. Mia, the betrayal, the ache in my chest. She wasn't just kissing me back, she was pulling me out of the dark. I didn't know how long we stayed. Like that. Time didn't matter, just the feeling of being wanted. Without lies, when we finally pulled apart, she rested her forehead against mine. I probably shouldn't have done that, she whispered. Then I really shouldn't have kissed you back. She smiled. No regrets? None. We sat in the quiet for a bit. My heart was still racing. I should tell you everything, I said. She leaned back. Okay. The night it happened, I forgot my phone at Mia's place. I went back, found her and Chris on the couch, kissing, like I wasn't even real. Lena didn't interrupt, didn't flinch, I didn't scream, didn't fight. I just walked out. Why didn't you tell me sooner? I guess I wanted to forget it, but kissing you, it made me feel like I could breathe again. She looked down at her lap, then back up. You know, she said slowly, I've waited my whole life to stop being her shadow. I blinked. What? She always got everything. The praise, the attention, the boys. Even when she was awful, I was just the extra piece in every room. That's not how I see you. You didn't even see me at all before. I swallowed. You're right. Lena stood and walked toward her easel. She grabbed a rag and wiped her fingers, eyes fixed on the half-finished canvas. I don't want to be your revenge, Aiden. You're not, then what am I? I walked up behind her, careful not to touch. You're the first person who's seen me after all of this. She turned, face unreadable. You sure this isn't about getting back at her? I thought about that. Really thought about it. No, but if she finds out, I won't lie, it won't feel bad. Lena gave a half smile. Same. Is that messed up? Probably, but sometimes messed up is honest. I laughed, quiet and raw. So what now? She looked at me. We don't hide. Mia will lose her mind. Good. I raised an eyebrow. You really don't care, do you? I used to, she said, but not anymore. I'm tired of watching her break people. You think this'll break her? No, but it'll shake her. And maybe that's enough. The plan wasn't born in anger. It came from something slower, colder truth. Mia had burned everything around her for years. Maybe it was time she watched something bloom without her. You sure about this? I asked. Lena nodded. Let's stop being their leftovers. I still can't believe we're doing this, I muttered. Parked outside Mia's mom's house, Lena buckled her purse. You sure you're not gonna back out? Nope. Just wondering if this makes me a bad person. She glanced at me. You're not the one who cheated, or lied, or covered it up with crocodile tears. Still feels heavy. She leaned over and kissed my cheek. Then let's carry it together. We got out and walked up the steps. The front door opened. Before we knocked, Elaine stood there in pearls and a navy blue dress, smiled just a little too tight. Aiden, she said, surprised. You came. Hi, Elaine. Her eyes shifted to Lena, and something flickered in her expression. Oh, you brought her. Lena didn't even blink. Hi, Mom. Lena, this is your sister's birthday dinner. You could have at least warned us. She invited him, Lena replied calmly. He didn't come alone. That's not a crime. Elaine stepped aside with a sigh. Well, come in. The room smelled like roasted chicken and too much wine. Candlelight danced on glassware. Everything looked perfect, except the moment Mia saw us. Her face dropped, fork halfway to her mouth. Chris choked on his drink. I took Lena's hand in mine, slow and deliberate. Mia stood up. What the hell is this? I smiled. Your invitation. Said I could bring someone with her? Are you serious? You said you wanted to talk. I assumed you meant honestly. Her voice dropped. Are you trying to humiliate me? Lena stepped forward. No, sis. That part's just a bonus. Elaine rushed over. Can we please sit? Mia, calm down. Chris still hadn't said a word. He looked pale. Good. We sat. The table fell into a heavy silence. Elaine cleared her throat. So, Dan, how have you been? Better, I said. Getting there, Mia glared. So this is what getting better looks like. No, Lena said, sipping her wine. This is what moving on looks like. You should try it sometime, Mia. Slammed her fork down. You always wanted what I had. Is that it? You couldn't stand being in my shadow? Lena laughed softly. You don't cast shadows, Mia. Just drama. Chris finally spoke. Can we not do this here? I turned to him. Still with her? He flinched. No, Mia spun toward him. What? Chris avoided her eyes. We've been off and on. Mostly off, I raised my eyebrows. Wow. Loyal as ever, Elaine clinked her spoon against her glass. Enough. This is not how we behave. Is this how we behaved when Mia destroyed everything I trusted? I asked. Mia stood. You don't get to act like a victim. You ignored me. You made me feel invisible. You made out with my best friend. It wasn't just about that. It was exactly about that, I said. You broke something I can't get back. Lena reached for my hand again. Warm, steady, Mia pointed at her. You think this will last? He'll hate you eventually. Just like he hates me. I don't hate you, I said. I just don't need you anymore. The table went quiet. Elaine stood. Dinner's over. We pushed our chairs back. I turned to leave. Mia's voice came low and sharp. You don't know what you've done. I stopped. She grabbed my arm. You think this is some kind of win? This, whatever this is with Lena, it's not real. I looked her straight in the eyes. Then why does it scare you so much? She let go. Lena and I walked out together. No words, just silence, but not the painful kind. This time, it felt like power, like we weren't hiding anymore. Let them watch. You see this? Lena spun her phone toward me. Mia posted it 20 minutes ago. I took it. The caption read, some people lie with kisses, some lie with silence. I guess I got both. Cheaters deserve each other. My name was tagged. So was Lena's. I sighed. She's not even trying to be subtle anymore. She told people you cheated on her, Lena said, pacing. She told Carly I was sending you nudes before you broke up. Wow. Creative fiction. She called me a desperate little shadow with no morals. I blinked. Okay. That one stings and I'm not even you. Lena crossed her arms. I'm done playing nice. I was never playing at all, I muttered. She paused. Wanna see something worse? Should I be sitting down? I found her old iCloud backup, still linked to her old laptop. Guess what was in it? Oh, God. She dropped into the chair next to me and opened the screen. Messages. Dozens of them. Years back. Who's Kyle? I asked. Ex-boyfriend. Dated her before you. According to these messages, she was hooking up with Dylan, Kyle's best friend, the whole time. Lovely. Keep scrolling. I did. There was Jake, Ben, Eric. Names I didn't recognize. Conversations that felt identical. Same lies. Same flirty texts. Same patterns. You're not the first guy she cheated on, Lena said quietly. You're just the first one who didn't come crawling back. I looked up. She said I made her feel invisible. But she never saw me at all. She only loves attention, Lena said. Not people. There it was. The truth.it didn't stab it hollowed. I feel stupid. I admitted. You weren't stupid, she said. You were loyal. Still feels like the same thing. No, stupid is knowing the fire burns and walking into it anyway. You didn't know. She made me believe I was the problem. That's what manipulators do. We sat in silence. Then Lena added, Chris dumped her. I blinked. Seriously? She started texting his roommate. Got caught. I snorted. Karma wears running shoes these days. She's spiraling. And we didn't have to lift a finger. I looked over at her. You really never liked her, huh? I wanted to. I wanted to believe she could love someone besides herself. But she only sees people in terms of how much they'll worship her, and when they stop, she destroys them. I leaned back. Well, guess I dodged a long, slow death. She smiled. You crawled out. That's braver. Feels less brave. More broken. You're not broken, Aiden. You're scraped up, but healing. I closed the laptop. What do we even do with this stuff? She shrugged. Keep it. Not to use against her, just to remind yourself. It wasn't your fault. I nodded, then said, let's get out of here. Where? Anywhere that isn't surrounded by ghosts. She grabbed her jacket and keys. I know just the place, and for once, I didn't look back. She picked the spot, a quiet park just outside town. Empty benches, bare trees, the kind of place where endings feel natural. I saw her sitting there, arms wrapped tight around herself. For a second, I almost didn't walk over, but I did. She looked up when I sat down. Her eyes were red. Thanks for coming, she said. I didn't answer. I didn't think you would. I waited. She let out a shaky breath. I've been thinking about everything. About you, now you think? I know I messed up, I looked at her, silent. She pulled her sleeves over her hands. Chris ghosted me. Everyone thinks I'm the villain. I tilted my head. Wonder why? Her eyes filled with tears. I didn't mean to ruin everything. I thought you'd always be there. I thought we had more time. We had 3 years. I made a mistake. No, I said quietly. You made a choice. She flinched. You used to love me. I did. So what changed? I stared ahead, watching a leaf drift across the path. You, me, everything. I still love you. You love what I gave you, I said. Stability, worship, a version of yourself you couldn't keep up with. That's not true. It is. You loved being seen, not being known. She shook her head. You think I'm this monster, but I'm not heartless. I never said you were. Then why won't you give me another chance? Because I gave you every chance before this one. Silence stretched. She whispered, so that's it. You're with my sister now. She's not you. That's why it works. Tears spilled down her cheeks. You're cruel. I stood. Slowly, she looked up, desperate. Don't walk away. Please. We can fix this. I took a breath, calm and final. I never needed revenge, Mia. Watching you become exactly who you are was enough. She blinked. What does that even mean? It means I finally see you, and I'm done pretending I don't. She reached for my arm. I stepped back. You'll regret this, she said. No, I replied. I regret staying as long as I did. I turned and walked. I didn't run. I didn't rush. I just left, and for the first time, I didn't look back. Are you seriously moving my brushes again? I looked up from the canvas. They were in my coffee mug. That was your coffee mug, Lena said, tying her hair back. Now it's a brush holder. You didn't even ask. You left it in my studio for 3 weeks. I raised my hands. Fine. The mug has a new life. I accepted. She smirked, smearing blue across her cheek without noticing. You've got paint on your face. Where? She touched the wrong side, other cheek. She sighed, grabbed a rag, and wiped it. Still there? I stepped closer and gently rubbed the spot away with my thumb. There, I said softly. She looked up at me, eyes warm but sharp. You always get that look. What look? When you're somewhere else in your head. I hesitated. It's nothing. She set down her palette. I didn't answer. I met her gaze. Do you still think about her? There it was, plain and unflinching. The question I hadn't wanted to answer. I do, I said. But it doesn't hurt anymore. She nodded once. Then we're getting somewhere. I sat down on the floor beside her paint-stained stool. She joined me, legs crossed, wiping her hands with a towel. Does it ever worry you? I asked. That we started the way we did? She shrugged. Sometimes. But I also think about how honest it was. Honest, you were wrecked. So was I. But we didn't pretend to be fine. That counts for something. I smiled a little. We really were a mess. Still are. You think so? We argue, she said. We're stubborn. We've got baggage. Sounds like true love. She leaned her head against my shoulder. It sounds like something real. We sat like that, the smell of turpentine and coffee mixing with the late afternoon sun. I didn't feel haunted anymore, just human. Later that night, I found it, buried under old receipts in the bottom drawer of my nightstand, a plain white envelope. My name on the front, nothing else, Mia's handwriting. I sat there for a long time, just staring at it. I'd left it unopened for months. I thought I never would, but something about today made me pick it up. I opened it slowly, only a single sentence inside. I hope one day you find peace. I never did, no apology, no excuses, just that. I held the letter a little longer, then I stood, crossed the room, and placed it in the drawer again. Not in anger, not in bitterness, but closure. I shut it for good. Lena walked in, barefoot, brushing crumbs off her sweatshirt. What was that? She asked. Just cleaning out some old ghosts. She paused. You okay? I nodded. Yeah, I actually am. She came over, slid her arms around my waist. I held her close. You're the first person who didn't ask me to forget, I murmured. She whispered, that's because I saw you. Before you saw yourself again. I kissed her forehead, not out of relief, not out of need, but because I wanted to, and this time, I didn't have to look back to know I'd finally moved on. I was exactly where I was meant to be, with the girl who saw me, the one who stayed.